Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Purpose Empower. I'm your host, Renele Brooks, and I'm so excited. This is the show where purpose driven CEOs, nonprofit leaders, and everyday believers come to refuel, realign, and get practical strategy for building something that is awesome, something that lasts, something that builds legacy. So I am excited today. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest. She's a woman of faith, power, and precision. She's a CPA, guys, a CPA who has helped a lot of people, entrepreneurs, founders, and organizations navigate the wild world of business finances. And she's doing it walking boldly in God. So I'm so excited to be joined today by Avery A. Welcome, Avery.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here, guys. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. It's a privilege that I give honor to God and I give honor to you for even opening your platform to allow me to speak to your people. So, super excited to be here, guys. Can't wait to talk all things finances and what God is doing.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure thing. So I am a mother of three biologically, but I have a stepdaughter and I have my sister that I adopted, and then I have my husband's sister that's going to be coming. And that sounds like a house full, but crazy enough, I don't have a dog, so I guess it's not really a house full, right? But don't mind this baby face. Like I said, I have three kids. I just look real young. God is good. Genes are good. We recently relocated to the US about 3 years ago. Originally, I am from the Bahamas, but I've been working in accounts and studying accounts for over 10. No, I keep saying 10 because 10 sounds good, but it's been a really long time. But I've been studying accounts from grade 10, and I've been out of school for like 14 years. So like 17 years worth of accounting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That means you have the receipts,
Yeah,
literally.
I listen. It's crazy because I did accounts in high school and then I got my bachelor's in accounts and then I did my MBA in business analytics while I was pursuing my CPA. So if y'all need a CPA, shameless plug.
Absolutely. We're for sure going to get all the information from you and put it in the description below so people can find out where to find you. So I wanted to know what made you say that numbers are your thing? What made you say, okay, I'm going to be in the world of finance? It's really not for everyone, but what made you say that that's what you wanted to do?
It's so crazy that you would ask that because honestly, I wanted to be a photographer. I'm a
Mm,
very creative person. I think I take after God in that way. I take after my dad in that way. My daddy
absolutely.
God. He's a creative and I'm a creative. But growing up in the Bahamas, if you don't know, it's an archipelago of over 700 islands and keys, but we're still relatively small. There's only 11 of those islands that are actually inhabited, and with that, the island that I grew up on, it was the city, but it was also very small. That's crazy. Smallest island, one of the smallest islands. All that to say, there's not much. It's not much in a third world country. And of course, when people ask me when I was younger what I wanted to be, and I said a photographer, my aunt asked me that one time, and she was like, "You better try hard, go be an accountant or something." I was kind of pushed into it, but I would say that I always had a good liking of money. I'm not gonna say love, but I did have a good liking of money. I liked money a lot. I started one of my first businesses in junior high school where I used to sell CDs. So from there, just kind of grew. I loved it. I love understanding it. I love manipulating it to try to make more money, seeing what could work, what we can switch, what we can take out and have it increase, decrease what it is that we needed to do. So that's how I got here.
That's awesome. And you know what? A lot of times, my daughter's really, really, really creative. She sings, she paints, straws, and all of that. She makes jewelry and all
Oh,
that's her business. And she really, she's heavy on that left brain side. So that's awesome that you have that balance where you have the creativity and the side with the numbers and everything. God works in so many different ways. I love how everybody is so unique.
yeah.
And so, faith and spreadsheets. Normally, you don't hear, faith and spreadsheets in the same
Hmm.
vein. So, how do you personally navigate faith and business in the financial sector without compromising, without watering down either or? I love the fact that when you did the response to the invitation, you put God as the strategy. And I love that. I
Yes.
love being able to freely talk about your faith, freely talk about God, freely talk about what you do. So, how do you navigate that in your business?
So I want to start off with answering the beginning of the question, faith and spreadsheets, how it works. I'm just going to give you one story, and that's probably going to put in perspective for
Okay,
you and the listeners. And I'm going to say the parable of the talents.
absolutely.
He gave each of them a certain amount of talents and they multiplied it. They didn't just go and hold somebody up with a rock, because I'm assuming they didn't have guns back then. They more than likely used their wisdom and they multiplied what it is that God gave them. So when you talk about faith and spreadsheets, faith and business, it goes hand in hand, and God is the strategy for anything that you would need. He's the God of multiplication. So when we talk about business, we talk about taking something, sometimes it's retail, sometimes it's a service, but we talk about multiplying it. How can you expect for something to be multiplied if you're not seeking God for the strategy to do that? And the good thing about it is the Bible, if you've read it, has everything that you need. It has so much stories, it has so much wisdom, not specifically on the Proverbs, because I know a lot of people like to dive into the Proverbs, but when we even look into the stories, probably something you didn't even think about, for example, Moses, you wouldn't probably get a business strategy from that, but it's so strategic that we're going to reach a certain level in our business. When we talk about Moses getting water for the Israelites, and the first time he struck the rock, right? One time they found bitter water. He put a wood inside the water. It got sweeter. And then the other time he was supposed to speak to the rock, and he decided to hit it. But let's focus on what he was supposed to do, which was speak to the rock. If you realize the progression of those things that happen, is it's supposed to get easier. And if you realize what his strategy was, to seek God, to ask God, to not just rely on his own strength, except the last part, of course. But that's the lesson. You be obedient, you continue to seek God, and you're going to continue to get an overflow and get what you need and the provision that you need without having to work as hard for it. So God is the strategy.
He really is. He really is. We talked about before how you can kind of drift and you're going to come back to him, but he has everything. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
Once we really tap into that, he knows everything and has everything. I believe that there are things that have not yet happened or have not gotten solution to in the earth
Hmm.
that we can tap into heaven, we can tap into God, and he will bring solution through us, through our business. It could be through your realm of finances. You can definitely tap into the realm of the spirit, and God will give you what is needed for a particular business, for a particular strategy, for a particular financial gain. And even right now, I feel like the Holy Spirit is leading. There's so much happening in the financial world.
Yeah.
Give me some thoughts on that if you have any about what's happening right now with the whole banking system.
So I'm a little different. I'm not ditzy or delusional, but I don't too much care for what is going on in the world, because the world is going to be the world, and it's going to be a lot of things that are going to shift. People have feelings, people have emotions, and sometimes they move within their feelings and in their emotions. And the thing about that is, as much as people like to think that they're in control of their lives, they're not, because what I do will affect you. What another
Hmm.
country does will affect another country. And
Hmm.
that's just what it is. So, what I do is focused on what I can control, and that's me worshiping God, because I know that He controls all of that. There's
Absolutely.
nothing that is going to happen without his saying or him allowing. And this is not to discredit God, because bad things do happen, but we talked about that free will that people have. And
Mm-hmm.
when they relinquish their dominion, they allow the devil to move in their power, in their authority that they're supposed to have. So bad things will happen, but I know the God that I serve, who does not waste nothing. So even
Absolutely.
though the storms of life may rage, I know that God is going to keep me covered. He's going to keep me safe. He's going to provide. So anytime somebody may be feeling like, oh my gosh, whatever's happening in the world will affect me, don't. Now, I will
Don't.
tell you that some people that were in the pandemic may have not been saved, but the pandemic produced so many millionaires and billionaires and new businesses. Everybody was not saved, but I just want to point that out because it was a time when we could not even go outside. How were people making money? How were people making money to spend the money to the people who were making money? Let's be real. It does not matter what's going on in the system. We have two systems. It's the earthly world and their systems, and the kingdom world. And what you decide to plug in to is going to power you. You got two plugs. Two, if you decide to plug into the earth, then it's finite, it's limited. The resources, and they always talk about if you are a business student, I don't know if they did it in other places. I was a business student for the majority of my life, but when they talk about economics and they talk about resources, they said that all of the resources are finite, and that's why they trying to tell you reduce, reuse, recycle, and all that good stuff. Because eventually, we can run out. That's the earth. But when you realize that you are plugged into the kingdom, the provider, boy, if he can send a raven to feed Elijah, I believe that he can send a raven to feed me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so excited and I'm on the same wavelength as you. We absolutely are not we absolutely are not moving in fear. Absolutely not. We are going to be in Goshen. Whatever the world does, the world is going to do.
Yep.
But what I do believe is that God is going to use this time to bless his people. And I
Mm-hmm.
do believe there's going to be a major, major wealth transfer that if you take advantage of it, if you hear what the Spirit is saying, like we talked about, going to get the download. What is he telling you to do right now financially that can be a blessing to you, your family, and build legacy in this time? Because I'm thinking about the cows, and they had that dream and saw in the scripture Joseph
Yeah.
fat and seven lean. And so if you think about it, we're going into the time where there could be the seven fat. So during that time, Joseph knew what to do.
Yeah.
And we can go back into the sons of Issachar. They knew what to do. And so as this time is going, make sure you seek the download from heaven for your finances, because
Mm-hmm.
God will give you the strategy for these next few years of what to do, because it may be a lean time after that. So
Yeah, it's
we are
true.
absolutely, absolutely in line with what she said. We don't operate in fear. We move forward in what God has given us to do. As we go forward, we're leaning on Him. We're getting the direction and the download, and He's giving us what to do.
I agree. So when we talk about storing, there's a time for everything. There's a
Hmm.
time for everything. So do not mismanage and do not missteward your blessing, because like you said, it could be 7 fat years and it could be 7 lean years. And the way you strategize and steward your resources and steward your blessings is going to determine how long you'll be able to ride that wave. Even when we think about the virgins, they were ill prepared. All of them started off with the same thing, but they were ill prepared. And you have to be prepared when those times come. That's one thing. And then originally, you started off talking about there's going to be a transfer. It, it don't have an option. If the wealth of the wicked is going to be stored up for you and me, the righteous, there's no option but for it to be transferred to you and I. And you who are listening, you have access to the wealth that is being stored up by the wicked. So, all of that to say, not to be lazy and don't work because you have an inheritance coming, but to know that you do have something in store But you have to be able to manage that too. So make sure you're taking the time to get that wisdom and strategy.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And this is just awesome, just being able to have you on and even how things are happening in the world. There definitely is a shift, a wealth transfer. So you guys hit Avery up because she's going to help you with those finances. I wanted to know what are some of the biggest mistakes that you see founders and CEOs do when it comes to money, especially like in those early stages?
It's just that that's it right there. They shoot themselves from the beginning because they don't record keep from the beginning. And I feel like every podcast or every time I speak about record keeping, but you can't grow what you don't know. You can't scale if you don't have the records to back it up. What are you analyzing if there's nothing there to analyze? So the first step for towards failure is to not record keep. Don't book keep. Just do whatever you want to do. That you ain't got no business bank account, everything together. That's number two. Listen, it's so much, and what's so sad about it is it's so easy. It's not hard to get a new bank account and to be disciplined in keeping your business expenses business and your personal expenses personal. Stop commingling your funds. And then you have some people that are ill advised to believe that they can start an LLC and nobody can sue you now because you have an LLC, but then you keep purchasing personal items from your LLC's business account. Uh, you pierce the corporate veil. It doesn't matter at that point. Cheap as you do not have an LLC, do not waste your money to be registering these LLCs that you are not accurately maintaining, right? And
Right.
the next thing about that is doing what they see other people do. Your calling is your calling, and my calling is my calling. You have a grace for something, and I have a grace for something. And when we strategize with God, when we get our purpose from Him, which is the whole, basis for what you do, we know that we can fully, outwardly do what it is that we want to do in Him and never get tired and never get bored. One of my first businesses when I came out of school that helped put me through my bachelor's program was I had a shoe store, and that shoe store used to make me money. Like every new season that drops, new products that drop, it's just money, money, money. And it kind of slowed down because the grace for it was not there. Everything comes in seasons. There's a time for everything. After I finished school, the grace, it was gone. I could not. I didn't feel like purchasing new stock. I didn't want to sit down and do anything. I didn't want to post for it because the grace for that was gone. And God was like, okay, your season is up. And sometimes we allow the thought of giving up keep us doing things that we should not be doing. So even though I did feel like that, I think I carried that on for another 2 years or so until I was like, you know what, I can't take this no more. It's taken so much out of me. And I mean, it's not that hard. You buy shoes, you price them, you sell them, you record keep for it, but it was so much. So when the grace is gone, let it go.
That's really a good word right there. When the grace is gone, let it go. And like she said, there's so many things that happen to us in different seasons, and God has something new. And we
Yes.
get stuck with the old, and we talk about old wine, and we're in the old wine, and God has moved on into the new. And we're
Mm-hmm.
like, well, what happened? And the thing is, we got to move with the ark. When the ark moves, move with the ark. And so that's so awesome. And I think, thank you for bringing that up.
Of
And
course.
and another thing that you brought up was the commingling of funds. Let me tell you, I have seen that so much, and it's hard because there are churches that have nonprofits and they commingle the funds,
Oh
and it makes me
no.
cringe. I'm like,
That's what
guys,
I'm telling you. It's like
you guys are could go to jail. Don't commingle your funds. And so these are the things that she can help you with, guys. So make sure, you reach out to her if you need a CPA to come in and assist you. And just like she said, just because you have an LLC does not make you invisible. You got to layer, you got to put that in a trust and put that in a holdings company, so you
Yep.
got to really know how to protect yourself.
One thing too, because there's levels, and everybody may not need a CPA as yet. Everybody may not need a bookkeeper as yet. And sometimes you can do these things yourself. But when you think about doing something yourself, you want to think, am I going to be consistent? Do I know what I'm doing? Do I have the knowledge to ensure that this is done correctly? And shameless plug, I actually have an accounting for entrepreneurs course that is just $97. It has six modules with video. So I didn't just get a bunch of checklists off ChatGPT and shove it to you, but it has a lot of good stuff that's going to help you, a lot of things that are going to help you build the basis that you need to ensure that your business is being accurately accounted for. And then if you feel like you want to get an accountant to review your work, you can set up something monthly or set up something quarterly so that you can ensure that it's done correctly. So I just wanted to plug that in. Work at where you are at. Don't think that you need to go broke trying to afford a CPA or a bookkeeper if you do have the capacity and the knowledge to do it yourself and the patience, because you can learn it, but the patience to do it yourself.
Yeah, and that's awesome because I was going to ask you, when do you feel like people need to bring a CPA in?
Oh,
And so you're already on point. So
oh,
that's
that's
awesome.
good.
What is the name of the course?
Oh, it's very basic. DIY accounting for entrepreneurs.
Okay. No,
It is
that's
what it is.
that's good. I just want to make sure that we get that out there, and I'll put everything in the link and everything in the notes so that people can take a look at that. That is awesome, guys, because I teach people to scale your business properly. Don't
Mhm.
go getting a whole bunch of things and you have all this overhead and then you can't afford it. So I like that she has a DIY course and that makes it a lot more manageable if you're
Mhm.
just starting out or if you just don't need a full on CPA just yet. But remember, if you do, she is available for you to be
Yes.
able to contact her.
I am. And to answer your question, when I do believe that people are ready for a CPA or an accountant to handle their books, is when you really don't know what you're doing. Your business is making more money than you can account for, and you
Mm.
really are tired. Like when you feel like the grace is gone for your bookkeeping, yeah, hire your CPA, hire an accountant. Some business owners like to don't do no record keeping, and then when tax time come they like to try to find somebody to do their taxes, and then they get mad because they got to pay a fee to have these things done. And what's crazy to me is they think because you are doing a year's worth of work in a month that they should just pay for 1 month. No, you didn't get a discount because you decided to wait a month before. You can pay times how much ever months you need done.
Right.
So save yourself some upfront costs and get the money together. Like do it now, because you
Yeah.
need those insights to make sure that you can grow and scale properly. You can't get 12 months worth of information in December and then decide you're going to use the information from January to help you scale in that new year. No, it's a whole year gone by. It was a lot of dips and waves and ebbs and flows that you missed out on, that you could even multiply your profit within the same year should you have been record keeping.
Yeah. And that's the thing, guys. Don't wait till the last minute. And don't give her a box of receipts, please.
No, I mean, let me tell you, I'm your CPA bestie. If you give me receipts in a box, I'm not gonna tell nobody. I'm gonna just do what I gotta do. But don't wait till the last month. Let's try to do that monthly. If you come in with a box of receipts, at least come every month so we can do it properly. Don't come and then get mad when I say, okay, look, be putting you on an extension, because who you think gonna sit down and do that right now?
Right. Plus, you have more than just one client, so that's a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, what does financial stewardship actually look like for the small business owner or nonprofit beyond tracking your expenses, like the mindset behind it?
So the mindset is we all have a requirement to multiply what the Lord has given us. Back to the talents. When the guy hide it and then bring back the same one, how livid was the master?
Yeah.
that that talks about the stewardship right there. So if we're
Hmm.
not accurately and intentionally seeking God's face to make sure that we multiply it, not just multiply it, but multiply it in a godly and righteous manner, because we can't just be out here doing anything as believers. I told somebody just the other day, just because it's legal doesn't make it right. We have to make sure that when we're moving with morals. We're
Yeah.
moving right. Holiness is still a standard. We still have to be holding a standard, right? So when we talk about making sure that we steward well, it goes back to making sure that we are doing, we're not just building wealth. We're not just getting riches. We are leaving a legacy. We're leaving generational wealth, not for our children, but our children's children. And if we keep that up, 2 generations, when our children come, they're going to work the next 2 generations. When their children come, they're going to work the next 2 generation. And it's going to continue to go on. The work of the kingdom needs to be done. A lot of people talk about putting money in the church, but the church job was to take care of the community, take care of the widows, and take care of the orphans. And I don't speak on if churches are doing it or not, because if you decided to anchor yourself in a church that is not, then, I don't know, pray for guidance on that. But I sow seed into ground that I see is being distributed, that is given to people, that is helping people, right? So make sure that you're doing that. We have to make sure that the kingdom is getting what it needs. And to do that, we need money. So if you broke, we got a problem. Being broke is of the devil. Being broke, being broke is of the devil. That's not what God has for us. He has plans for us to prosper. And if
That's
you're not
so true.
prospering, then something wrong. We have to see what's going on in our lives that is stopping us from living in our full potential and being prosperous. But again, that all goes down to stewardship. And when we steward what we have, well, we leave a legacy. We leave generational wealth. We leave our children in a good spot. One thing for me, I told myself I didn't want kids. I don't really know how I got 3, to be honest. But, well, we know how I got it. But anyway, the real thing about it is, I said, y'all are not gonna experience what I experienced, because I experienced a lot of dysfunction and a lot of uncertainty, and I didn't have stability. It was very unstable in my childhood. We moved a lot. We lived with family. I have never had my own room. I have never had my own room. My mother, we lived in one bedrooms where my mother would stay in the front room, and she would give the kids the room. So this is the life that I experienced, and I told myself my kids are not going to experience that. I set goals for myself, and I was intentional about stewarding the little that I have to make sure that I can multiply that. And with that, I spoke to God, I set the goals, and He put it into play. I had my own home I wanted to have it by 23, but I got it at 24. I got the keys at 24, and then was able to have apartments, and now we're on our second home. So God is good, and these are things that we have. And of course, I see everybody traveling and eating out, and not to say that I don't do these things, I just don't do them as much as I would like. I've been places, I've been Paris, I've been Germany, I've been, Costa Rica, I've been places. But I want to be outside, not sinning, just outside experiencing what God created. But I know that I have to be responsible to ensure that the assignment, the purpose is fulfilled before I'm able to reap what I sow. I have to sow those seeds now to be
Yeah.
able to reap later. So time and seasons, and unfortunately, it's not my time to just be outside soaking it in, traveling yet, but it's coming.
Not yet, not this very moment, but tomorrow.
Hello.
And you know what? I feel the same way. I have three. as well. I'm an only child, so I never thought that I would have three kids, but I do. And I am just so grateful that they're doing their thing. They're all grown. I have myself now. It's absolutely what you said. We are here to steward well, we're here to leave a legacy. We're here to, have our family and our children and those that come after deal with or go through what we went through. So, the financial is very, very important. And I'm so grateful to have you on here. Before we wrap up, I wanted to ask a couple of things. What is one power move that you think that every entrepreneur or nonprofit founder should be making with their money this year if they want to build something that lasts?
Delayed gratification. I know it's a concept, but it's a power move because
Mm-hmm.
as humans, our desire is to be happy and to enjoy life, right? But sometimes we have to take a step back to be able to get pushed forward. We have to take a step back to be able to look at the big picture because if you're so close, you can't see everything. And that means sometimes you got to miss out on certain things, right? And the time we take to make short-term investments that are not going to yield as great of as a return, we can just wait a little bit, delay it. Don't try to spread it out too thin. Focus and hone on to the one thing that God may be telling you to do, and then push forward. It's not easy. Trust me, it's not. I feel you. My spirit connecting to your spirit as you sigh in disagreement to delay your gratification. But I
Yeah,
promise you,
yeah.
when you do get into your harvest season, you say you will reap if you faint not.
Yeah, that is so true. And a lot of times, especially I think even more so in the US, people want things and they want to do things. They will go and do that before they will take the time to put it away and just wait. A delayed gratification will get you the reward that you desire, and it'll be so much more better. And then you'll have that level of discipline where that will go forward. Then you can teach your family that, they can teach theirs that, and that can trickle down the generations and build that legacy. And sometimes you go through things and you say, I don't want anybody to ever have to deal with what I dealt with. And so I think that's kind of our stance. We want to build legacy. And even with our businesses, you want to build legacy. You want something
Yes.
that lasts. I'm an author. I tell people, get something in the earth that is going to outlast you. Put
Mhm.
something in the earth that's going to outlast you, because once you're gone, what is still speaking, especially for us women of faith and, women that believe the Lord and love the Lord. Let's get something in the earth that still speaks what he's speaking after we're long gone.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with business. It's the same thing, with, building financial legacy and making sure that there is something that is left for generations and generations to come. That's such a major thing all the way till Jesus comes home. That's what I
Yes.
always say. So do you have any final words for our audience or anything else that you want to just share?
Yeah, so I just want to tell you guys to trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord. He is the provider. He's Jireh. And the good thing about him, he is whatever it is that you need. Isn't that so good? He is your healer. He is your waymaker. Anything that you need a friend, he's your friend. He said, I am the I am. So anything that you need, God has it. Do not find yourself finding whatever it is you need in people. They will fail you. But go to God and do not turn away the people that God sends. I don't know about y'all, but I haven't heard or read about God walking the earth in some time. Not saying that he cannot, should he choose to, but he uses people to fulfill his needs. Do not allow your destiny helpers to walk past you because of your attitude or because you're not being in position. Okay? Your destiny helper might be right around the corner waiting for you to go. Just come, just drive. So push forward with God. Entertain those angels. Be kind to everybody. Show love. Out of everything God told us to do, He said to love one another. Jesus came and He said all of the commandments could be wrapped up into two things, and one of which was love people. And He was very strategic in that because people make it hard to love them. Y'all do. So show love anyway because you don't know who you're entertaining, and watch how God is going to bless you. That is how he tests you to see if he can trust you, and the overflow that you're going to walk into is going to be something that you would have never thought or imagined. Exceedingly abundantly above all. I'm happy and excited for what God is going to do for you guys.
I am too. And I'm so grateful for you again. I want to say thank you so much, Avery, for sharing your wisdom, your knowledge with our guest. And she even almost forgot, she even is giving you guys a
Yes.
free calculator, tax
Yes.
calculator. So
Oh
I will put the
yeah.
information.
Can I just tell them a little bit
Yeah,
about it?
sure.
So I took my time. I made that myself. I promise you, ChatGPT didn't. And somebody from I sit down hours through the night making that look beautiful for you guys, and I think it's very aesthetically pleasing. It's accurate to the accurate level that you put the information in, but I also do want to say it's not to be relied on 100%. Do get a professional to review your taxes for you, but I'm not gonna tell you it's not bad. I just gotta throw that disclaimer so y'all don't try to sue me. Y'all like to sue, but it is a great tool that you can use to help with your quarterly estimated taxes and to even see how much you need to pay by the end of the year, or what you are going to pay should the circumstances that you put into the calculator are correct. So if you make a certain amount of money, you put that in, you put your filing status, all that good stuff, your credits, your deductions, and then it's gonna shoot you right out what your estimated taxes is, how much you can save, and all that good stuff.
That is awesome, you guys. She is giving you guys a really, really good gift. So make sure you download the information, go to the descriptions. I'll have everything in there. And again, thank you, Avery, for showing your
Of course.
wisdom, your faith with us, sharing all those nuggets. And you're actually doing more than balancing the books. You're doing so
Yes.
much more than that. You're really helping people walk in their faith. You're helping people walk in the wisdom and wealth and in their work. So that is awesome. So, guys, if
Thank
this
you.
episode has blessed you, pass it on, subscribe, like, leave a review, let somebody else know about it. And until next time, thank you again. Build boldly, live anchored, and stay in alignment, guys. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.